Hello, everybody. Chad Eves here. Welcome to this episode of the Meaningful Communication Show. Today, we're going to talk about doing the simple things. Tonight is Game 5 of the men's professional basketball finals here in America. Now, this is not a discussion about sports or basketball directly. It's more a talk about using fundamental skills for success. In this basketball series, the Denver Nuggets are up 3-1 over the Miami Heat. If they win tonight, they win the series. So how have they pulled out so far ahead of the Miami Heat? It comes down to fundamental skills and consistency. One of the basic basketball plays that Denver has used is called the pick and roll. Now, we don't need to get into it in detail. It's basically where one player kind of blocks for another player to get in a better position to score or pass the ball. That's the end of basketball talk. The important part here is what they are demonstrating to the audience is the mastery of a fundamental skill, one that's pretty basic. The pick and roll is something that most every player does at some point. How well they do it, that's the question. And Denver's been able to do this particular play very well. So how does this relate to you in communication? When you engage in a communication activity, there are fundamental practices that will help you succeed. Perhaps you already know a number of these, but do you practice them? And do you use them in the real world? Knowing them and doing them are two completely different things. This past weekend, I helped facilitate a crisis communications simulation in my graduate program in communication at Northwestern University as an alum. One of the core activities of the simulation was for the student teams to do press conferences. This was an area that these teams often struggled at when it was time to end the events. Ending a press conference has two basic parts. Tell the audience it's over and leave the room. Yes, there are ways that you can elegantly and respectively dress up the end of what's going to happen next and stuff like that. But before you start doing that, it's essential to embrace the concept of ending the event and leaving the room. It sounds simple. It should be simple. But people make this unnecessarily complicated because they lose sight of these two simple components. Instead of ending the press conference, people keep talking and they keep taking questions. This can result in them oversharing information, specifically stuff that's protected and shouldn't be told to people, and also making promises that shouldn't be made or that can't be kept. From this example of doing a press conference, people need to practice ending it and leaving the room. Once that's done, they can work on how to dress up the ending. But you've got to get the simple parts down first. When you don't understand a technique, such as a basketball play, and you cannot execute it, like scoring a basket, your odds of failing are going to outweigh those of achieving success. Keep things simple. Practice the simple things. This is going to grow your confidence and that of your team. Do the simple things right on a consistent basis. This is how the Denver Nuggets are leading this series. And they're putting on a clinic on how, when you do the simple things right, it can take you down the court to success. The same is true for how we communicate in practicing the simple practices and the simple techniques.